Over the last 5 years, my gaming setup has drastically changed. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my setups throughout the whole 5 years. But before the video starts, do make sure to like, subscribe, because we are trying to hit 3,000 subscribers before May 24th, which is my birthday. So that could be an early birthday present if we hit it before that. But enough of me yapping, and let's start with the video. So my first device is actually a Dell laptop. It was actually my brother's. He used to use it for school, but then he never really used it, so I just took it and then started downloading Roblox and then playing some games on there. It had 8 gigs of RAM and I think like a Core i5. It was pretty bad. I couldn't really run that much games on there. I could only run like Roblox, and that wasn't even in high frame rate. I was running at like probably 10 FPS to 20, but at that age I thought it was good, so I just kept on gaming on with it. And then fast forward into 2021, I got my iPad, which was an iPad Air 2. I used it to play games like Among Us and Roblox, and also PUBG when it was popping off. And that was around that, you know, the thingy was happening. So I was just inside grinding Roblox and Among Us all day, and believe it or not, that was when I got motivated to start making videos. But they weren't really good, high quality videos. I'm gonna pop a video of it right now. Like you guys just saw, it wasn't really high quality videos. It was pretty decent. I thought I did good, so I can't really bash myself for that. I was like a 11-year-old kid playing games. So yeah, fast forward into 2022, I had this iMac of mine, which you guys just saw me make videos of it before. That was way better than my iPad and the Dell laptop I had. I was running games around 60 FPS, and I was cooking Arsenal, bro. I used to make Arsenal videos, and I actually uploaded my 3rd or 5th Arsenal video on that, but that was when I was really motivated into making more videos. And actually, I used to stream on that iMac until I got my Dell computer, which was actually pretty good. It was pretty laggy and it was buffery a little bit, but it did the job for the meantime. But how I got that, my uncle had it and then he gave it to my brother, and then my brother was using it for schoolwork at that time, but then he stopped using it, so then I just took over and then started using it. And then fast forward into 2023 was when I got my Dell Optiplex from my cousin. But before that, I had this HP Pro with an i5 or an i3. I actually thought I could make videos on that and probably turn that into a sleeper build, but then I realized I couldn't do anything because I found it in the junkyard or something. It had the guy's account and I couldn't sign out of it, so I just said screw it and I just threw it out. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could have took out the parts and sold them, because I don't think they make those parts anymore. But after that, at the end of 2023, I got my gaming computer that I call it right now, which is a Dell Optiplex. I had one. That one was my first one. Had an i5 4th gen or something. I used to play Roblox on it because I couldn't run anything on there. I didn't even have that HD 8570 graphics card that I used to have, so the games that I was playing on it was only Roblox. I could play Fortnite on it, but I can only play it in 720p and not even in full screen as well. But I was getting around 20 FPS, and I used to grind Rocket League because that was the only game it allowed me to play since it wasn't that high demand. But fast forward like a couple of months, my cousin told me that his mom got more Optiplexes from her job that they just threw out. So then he hit me up and I was like, oh, let me get one. And he mentioned that it had an i5 4770. So I was just like, all right, bet. When I come next week, I'm gonna get the computer. So then I get there and I get my computer, and it had an HD 8570, which was great because it had a graphics card. I did a few optimizations on it. I got the newest drivers and whatnot. It was working perfectly fine. I got 60 FPS in most games. I was running Roblox at max settings at around 40 FPS, 45 I think. And at that time I thought it was great because I really never had like a gaming computer or a gaming console for real. So then I just kept on playing until I found out about the 1050 Ti, which my cousin taught me about. So then we were just talking about some graphics cards that I wanted to get, and he had a RX 6400. So I was just like, I don't want to go AMD because I kind of don't like AMD and I like streaming and stuff. But please guys, don't bash me in the comments. It's just all preference. So I decided to get a 1050 Ti. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could have got a 1660 Super and changed my power supply, but that would have been too much work. So the 1050 Ti was great. Or I could have gotten a 3050, but I think that would have been a bad purchase. Maybe in the future I'll get that. So I decided to get the 1050 Ti. I changed it. I also made a video on it. I'll show you guys right now. That video did pretty well, and I was getting around 140 FPS in Fortnite on performance mode, and when I was actually playing it on DirectX 11, I was getting around 70 to 120 FPS, which in my opinion is not that bad. I was playing medium medium to high settings, but I really wasn't playing on a good monitor. I was playing on this one Acer monitor that was 60 hertz. Fun fact, I did break that monitor. That's why I have this KOORUI 75 hertz monitor now. The one that I used to have was 24 inches, 60 hertz. I think it wasn't an IPS panel. The one I have right now is not an IPS panel as well. But if any company is watching me right now, if you want to sponsor your boy, hit me up, bro. So then I broke that and I had to use my Roku TV as a monitor. So that wasn't really well. And that was when I made my first video that actually blew up, that has like, I think 10K views right now. It was a $500 setup tour and that video did pretty much well. So then fast forward, people were telling me to get a new monitor. So I was just like, all right, screw it, bro. I'll just get a new monitor. And then my brother got me this 27 inch 75 hertz KOORUI monitor. It does the job. The colors on this thing are amazing. I think KOORUI is a great brand and I'm not sponsored by them, but I love their product. So then fast forward, I got a new desk, and then that was when I was really popping off. So then companies were sponsoring me so I could get like new products and stuff for my setup, and I actually spent my own money on this new desk that I had when I moved to the new house. And also when I moved to the new house, I changed my SSD. I had a 1 terabyte hard drive and then I swapped it out to a 1 terabyte SSD that I got for around $50. So then I slapped that bad boy onto this computer and it was working so much better. Like my download times and my startup times were so much faster. I felt like my PC was a gaming PC at that time. But before that actually happened, I had some trouble. My hard drive was messing up. I used this thingy called Crystal Disk, I think, or something like that, I don't know, to transfer my files. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should have never transferred it. I should have just started it off brand new and got Windows 11 if I really wanted to. But I'm just gonna keep staying on Windows 10 until it's not functionable anymore, because the tweaks that I have on this PC will probably not be as good with the Windows 11. And also, if you guys want to know the tweaks, I'm gonna leak it at 3,000 subs, bro. I'm telling you guys, I got y'all. But yeah, that hard drive wasn't working fine, and then I called my cousin because he was really the one that knew PCs more than me at that time. So then he just told me to just take out the hard drive and see what happens, because I wanted to have 2 disks inside of my PC. So maybe that was the reason why it happened. And I found out later that my hard drive was corrupt. So that hard drive that I have right now is not good. It still has my memory inside of it, but you can't use it at all until you reset everything. Fast forward into 2024, when I moved, that was my setup. I changed my desk. I started getting sponsors and I got new peripherals. I got a new Mousepad. I got more stuff for my setup. I got posters. I got a lot of new things for my setup. And then 2025, this is how my setup looks right now. I know my setup is not looking the best right now to some people's eyes, maybe the peripherals and stuff, but the PC is not as good compared to other guys out there. But just know that this is just a start, and we'll actually be building my dream PC in a video soon. Just stay tuned, guys, I promise you guys. But with that being said, man, moral of the story is, no matter what you have, you just gotta make good use of it, you know what I mean? Because I really didn't have anything, but I made good use of it, and then sponsors came up to me and then asked me for stuff. But with that being said, man, roll to 3,000 subs, and if you want another video like this, do make sure to drop a sub and let me know in the comments what you guys think about this video. But with that being said, God bless, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.